All right, my dear fellow listeners and viewers, good evening once again, and welcome to another edition of the Dr. Narine Dat Show. We have had a little bit of a technical difficulty, but that's not an issue. The show must go on. For those of you who have seen our show before, for those of you who watched our show before, will know that the Dr. Narine Dat Show is a safe space for positive energy only. It is very different than what we've done in the past with Let's Chit Chat with Narendra. We are so glad that you're taking time off your busy schedule to kind of join us. Do know that we appreciate that, and I want to mention that right off the bat. Tonight we are going to have two guests. The first half, I will have with me here, or with us rather, Thavindra, a teacher out of Burpees, Guyana, or teacher out of Guyana. And later on, we will also have Ibani who will be joining us. We will talk about a variety of different things, but we will focus more on the election in Guyana, the importance of it, the excitement, and all of those types of things. All right. I want to remind you that this is a safe space, and so we wouldn't, tolerate any sort of thing that will kind of, make any sort of mischief. Let me put it that way. So, Tavindra, welcome to the show. How are you doing this evening?
Well, a pleasant good evening to Dr. Narayan and to all viewers who are viewing me online. I'm doing good. I'm doing well so far. It was a tremendous busy day, but overall I'm doing well. I'm happy and honored to be on this show once again. It's been like almost 4 years. The last time I had an interview was when I became the top student, valedictorian for Poporan Secondary 5 years ago. It was a great honor to speak on my behalf and experience back then. Now it's a great honor to be back here a second time, but speaking about something else on the upcoming election. So I'm all ears. So let's continue.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. That is right. You were here a few years ago when you obviously topped your high school, and we had you. We were talking about all of that. A lot has changed with you as well. So you're a teacher now. You're really paying it forward in terms of educating other younger folks, which is awesome. And we can talk a little bit about that too. But I want to kind of have your view, right? Because every individual's input and viewpoint is important, and so your viewpoint is no different than anybody else's. And so I want to hear your viewpoint in terms of what's happening, going on, with election and all of these types of things. Do know that you only share what you feel comfortable sharing. So I just kind of want you to kind of know that. So before we get into any election piece, how has things changed for you, right? How has things changed for you most recently? When I say most recently, I'm talking about, the past few years, because when I had you on, you had just finished, your high school examination, you did well. You came on our older show, Let's Chit Chat with Narendra. You share your story, you share your journey. There was a lot of, lots of excitement, all of that. The two of us, we kept in contact, all of that. But now you're a teacher. Can you fill me in as to how things have changed for you? You also continue your education. You recently graduated. Take your time and share that with us, because I think that is important. Go ahead.
Okay. But first of all, after becoming the valedictorian for my high school and obtaining good grades from CSEC, I after that couple months after my passing of my CSEC, receiving my certificate from CSEC and my high school for a job well done on my academic education itself, I took some time off for like a couple months to decide what's my career path of what I want to do. And there were so many opportunities was presenting to me, and I applied to different places, different jobs. But one spoke out. One job was the one job I ran away from. I didn't want to do, which was teaching. But that job itself inspired me through my teachers from high school. They're the one who inspired me to help me to where I am today. They're the one who bring me forward of educating me, helping me in the categories which I never expected from them. They put in a lot of effort, which I condole kudos to them and other people's too as well. Not not only my teachers but other people contributed to as well in my education. So in my education to become a successful person to where I am today, I'm moving forward. Also along that line, after choosing to become a teacher, I started college in with CPC 2022, and I finished off last year, graduated with credits in mathematics, studying mathematics, 2 years in college. Was quite a wonderful and how it was a good and a bad experience, but it helped me to grow. The challenges, the difficulties, there was good moments, there were bad moments, there were worse moments, but overall it helped me to grow to the person I am today and continue to help me to grow every day, because every day in my life and in each other's life itself, we learn something new. We gain something new. We learn from our experience, we grow from them. We don't leave them ourselves. The key important thing to always remember in life is to continue to grow. Don't leave yourself down. Continue to pursue your dreams and goals. And that's what I did. After I finished off my CSEC, I decided to start with Sirpata College of Education, CPC, to pursue my associate degree in education for mathematics, the one subject that majority of Guyanese don't like, and I didn't like before, but overall I did do it. It was a challenge, but also it gave me a lot of experience and knowledge of how can I see maths in different aspect in life and how it applies in real life. Even though some of the concept doesn't apply in real life, not all of it, but some of it itself. But majority of it help us to broaden our horizons if we're willing to learn and putting the extra effort. So not that academically I did not grow, not that alone, but financially it helped. I learned to balance off myself, how I spend, how I invest in myself, emotionally likewise. Like when I'm going through a hard time, I do journaling, um, spiritually, counseling, communicating with my with my pastor, and help me to go spiritually, to be connected to God, and physically working out, doing exercise, keep my body moving in all categories. So what I will say that within the 5 years, even though that my mindset is a little bit same, but it helped me to improve my perspective of thinking in life, has drastically improved. Even though I am not all up there to become the best version of myself, I'm still pursuing and continue to want to go down the path of becoming the best version of myself in all the categories in as much as possible, what with the help of God and with his guidance and with his protection. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for that. So what I would like you to do, when you're speaking, you're doing really well, by the way. I do know, I recognize that. Don't be afraid. I want you to look into the camera. So when you're speaking, look into the camera and speak. I know it can be a little bit hard sometimes, but you're doing well. All you have to do, look into the camera and speak. So your viewers can kind of see you as well too. It's awesome. So before I get into that election piece, what are some of the things that you enjoy doing as a teacher? Because in my view of things, I think a teacher role is an important role, right? I'm not saying that it is easy in any shape or form, but what are some of the things you enjoy? Because when you wake up in the morning, right, you are going there and you are going there to put your best foot forward, so to speak. But what is it that you enjoy in your professional role as a teacher?
My professional roles, what I do enjoy being as a teacher itself. I would say the one thing I love to enjoy to doing is to challenge my students and encourage them to learn to overcome their difficulties, especially in the subject of maths. Maths is an important aspect in our lives. Yes, it's hard, but that's the thing about life, such as it is high school. We have to welcome challenge is like a part of us. We have to welcome it is of like a lesson itself, to gain knowledge from it and to learn from it. Even though we fall down, we have to learn to pick up back ourselves, to be disciplined, to be firm, and to get back and go again. That's the one thing I would say to enjoy being, encouraging my students to welcome the challenge yourself, motivating yourself, and just being the teacher that is would help them to realize their goals and dreams, to help them to inspire them to let they achieve their goal, not to belittle them, but to inspire and to help their dreams expand their horizons, one being case, and to let them dream big, but also not to dream big alone too as well, also to take actions what they want to do. At the same time, they have to get a plan of what they want to do and act on that plan. A little step to achieving their dreams and goal every day will help them along that line. So I would say some of the things I love to do as a teacher, inspiring my students to inspire them to become the best version of themselves and to pursue their career and goal, challenging them, challenging them despite the difficulties, and to show them respect, to show them that they're respected. Once show them equal respect. There's one key aspects. I know that's one of the difficulties we face as a teacher in high school itself now, in 21st century, is students back giving back answers to teachers. Truth be told, yes, but there are methods and ways which we can learn to approach and apply to when students back. But once we have a handle of that, students would look at us differently. Yes, we go through the challenge. Yes, they make mistakes. Yes, they they make bad decisions and do bad things. But that doesn't mean they're bad people for to become the rest of their life. We are the ones who are responsible to help them grow. Even though it's a challenge itself, we have to help them. We are like their second parents in high school itself. They have their own parents at home, but we are, and school is like their second home itself, even though that they don't like school, which in it's normal thing. But we have to be the one to educate them and to mold them and to help them grow. Teach them about how life it is, how to approach certain situation. And in aspects like those, students would look at you differently. Yes, you have to be both you have to be both firm and to be sometimes it takes a balance itself. As a teacher, the one key aspect of being a teacher itself, you have to know when to make jokes with your students. Another aspect, you have to know when you put your foot down and be totally serious with them.
Mm-hmm.
And
Excellent.
students, once a teacher have a balance of that, and to help to deliver and to understand, apply those knowledge into real life situation, students would look at teachers differently. They would admire and be inspired by their teacher. And I have such a and I can speak from experience because I look up to my former high school teachers still. I call upon them, and when I see them, I give them a hi, hello, give them a hug, and say, "How are you?" and stuff. I still admire my high school teachers, the high school I once went to. I still look up to them. They done something to me which did an incredible job. They inspired me and they helped me along that line, along with other people else. But high school teachers, my high school teachers, they really did an
Mm-hmm.
amazing job.
Good stuff.
Yes.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. I'm glad that you are now using, your own skill set and whatnot to kind of pay it forward, because that's exactly what you're doing, which is great. I want to say hello to a few people here. I want to give a special hello to Leon. Thank you, Leon. I hope that you are enjoying your time in Guyana. Continue to bring those beautiful sceneries and beautiful pieces that you showcase on your platform. That's awesome. I noticed I have Sharn. Sharn is a former classmate of mine. We both attended the same college here in Canada. Thank you, Sharn. I hope you're doing well. Hope your family and everybody else are doing well. And everybody else, depending where you're looking and whatnot. I wouldn't be able to see everybody, but do know that we appreciate each and every one of you. We will switch it a little bit and talk a little bit about politics and election. You know, that's happening tomorrow in Ghana. The world obviously will be watching. And I have Ebony, who is very much engaged in Ghana. She has a successful business. She has a successful business and one in Ghana. She really loves Ghana. She will be coming to join us um, around 7 o'clock or so, and she will give her viewpoints on things. She's an advocate and whatnot. But for now, I just want to focus on you, and I do know I appreciate everything that you are offering here. You have grown without any question over the few years. I've seen the growth in you, this now, right? And so it's a beautiful thing. I never thought that I'm going to have you on us, where we will be talking about politics. Last time we were celebrating you and celebrating, all your academic pieces in high school and so forth. Here you are coming back on this show 4 years after as a teacher, as a, more of a mature individual, and you have so much more to offer. Do know that this is just the beginning for you. I want to let you know this ahead of time, right? You have your whole life ahead of you and continue to push through. You are going to do, you know, really, really well in life. So let's switch it a little bit because I do enjoy the political piece, and even though I live here in Canada, I'm very much connected with a lot of folks in Ghana. I help Ghana in so many different ways. I have property and whatnot in Ghana, so even though I live here, I stay connected. So I'm mentioning this because sometimes people will say that, look, you folks live out of Ghana. Like, why are you so concerned about what's happening here in Ghana? But I think it is important because Guyana cannot function on its own. Guyana need, support from other countries and so forth, and so goes for any other country, right? And here in Canada, we also rely on our neighbors and so forth to kind of work together so we can build this country no different when it comes to Ghana. So what's happening in your view of things? I mean, through social media, I get to see a lot of things. I'm very much connected. I've had a lot of talks with a lot of people. And keep in mind when you're responding, I want you to respond in a safe way so that when you leave here today, you have satisfaction where you wouldn't have any regrets sharing anything that you're not comfortable sharing. Well, in your view of things, like how are you viewing this election tomorrow? Are you viewing it in a way where it's going to be like a smooth sail where people will go and vote and go home and kind of celebrate in a positive way after we get the result?
Well, first of all, the election in Guyana is one of the biggest events, an important event where to determine people choosing a group of individuals they want to put into power, of how to run and what they can be able to make promises to execute to help to build the country and expand its growth throughout the years. Well, for so far and whatsoever going on with the different parties with election itself, I can say that it's going to be a one-packed day itself of busy voting system, uh, uh, the polling stations will be packed. There's one. It's going to be a lot of exciting voters who will be showing their votes, throwing their ballots, showing that they voting for the group of people who they want to place in power, who will upkeep their promise, who would respond of how to elevate the country regionally and internationally. Well, from the previous election, we saw that there was kind of a a kind of miscalculation and fraud, but it was corrected 5 years ago, and the system was corrected 5 years ago, and after that, it was kind of how it's kind of a little different now, but this year I can say one thing for certain. I It's in God's hands. It's going to be a packed day. I am hoping and praying that it's going to be a smooth voting system this year for the voters, and there's no conflict. The police officers and all the individuals of the polling station, the polling agents, the all of the polling individuals working with GCOM and the party itself will go a smooth sail voting of people voting their free of ballot or who they want to place into power itself and go in a smooth system. And to be whensoever the results might come out a couple of days after the election, once the vote is being placed in the ballot box and they checked up then distributed to GCOM and they do the tally and they announce who is the winner and who will be placing to power and to be um, placed and who will be taking over the country and to execute their promises. The one thing I like about the voting system is that it's a smooth sail, but also it's the free will of the people who they want to place into power because they will have to look at the previous governments, parties itself, people itself, to show who keep their promises. Despite everything, the one thing I loved and I admire very much about people placing the power, once you give your promise and state whatsoever you're going to do, once you're placed into power, execute it and do it within the 5 years, majority of it or most of it, that's a good job. It means that you're doing what you promised the people itself. And that's the one thing I admire about the voting system itself. So everybody is free to vote, 18 and above. And also we will have visitors. We have visitors along to be coming around to see the voting system from different international people, from the ambassadors, from the Commonwealth country, individuals from the Commonwealth organization, and CARICOM, and so forth and so forth. So the election is one of the biggest events where it happened in Guyana, and the police officer will do their job. The GCOM agents or individuals will be doing their job. Everybody will be doing their job. And the people have their rights to vote for who they want to place into power. The one thing I would say that let's have a good, smooth sailing and peaceful voting system tomorrow, so there will be no conflicts. That's okay if you have one and two small here and there problems, minor problems, not big problems, minor problems, which can be resolved. But tomorrow was one of the biggest events where people will be busy going into the voting stations, putting their ballot, choosing the party who they want to choose regionally and country likewise. So I would say that it's all in God's hands. Let's people choose the decision. Let's choose the decision who we want to place into power. I know who I want to place into power. Everybody know who is the party they want to place into power, and make the right decision. Who would keep their promise? And the important aspect is that what you sow is what you reap. And another quote I really loved from high school, I learned it from high school itself, and it stuck with me until this very day. They say action speaks louder than words. For example, if my friend tell me that hey, I'm gonna buy you a food for next week, Tuesday. Just giving an example there. They told me that. Now, let's say next Tuesday come, and let's say perhaps some situation happened or something happened, and they forgot to buy that food for you the upcoming Tuesday. They gone. Tuesday gone, Wednesday gone, Thursday, Friday, they remember, and you ask them, didn't you promise me that you buy food from me Tuesday? They say like, oh shucks, I forgot. Their words doesn't align with their actions. That's just an example there. So in order, what I'm trying to say is that vote for the people who words aligns with their actions. It's your choice, your free will. You will have to know who you want to place into power. And I'm not forcing you. I'm just telling you. It's your free will. It's your decision who you want to put this democratic country in, and to run the country and help to boost the country continuously. Because so far, I can say one thing for certain: within the 5 years, I have seen this country go through dramatic changes. A lot of changes, and a job well done. Toodles from the current government for what they did. And all the best to everybody. May God be with you all. Even though it's election day tomorrow, let's continue to pray. Let's continue to keep it safe and simple. Go into the polling station, collect your ballot, put your X, whichever party you want to vote, put the ballot in the ballot box, tap your finger, come out, and smooth sail. You decide who you want. Make sure you make the right decision who you want to vote. And overall, it's your decision. The one thing is that for we as human beings, conflict won't solve nothing. Fighting won't solve nothing. Killing people won't solve nothing. It will breed more conflict, and it will breed more corruption. For me, I prefer a peaceful and smooth process of election, of voting. And the only way we can get that happen if we work along together to do what we have to do. Vote, go in the ballot polling station, do what you have to do, come out, dip your finger, showing that you vote, and go home. Wait for the next couple of days afterward, they announce who will be placed into parliament, who are the people, and there you have it. Smooth sales. No conflict, no discrete of parties or whatsoever it is. Smooth sale. Whosoever you want to vote for, keep it to yourself. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. I have seen that throughout the years, and it breeds conflict. In some, it's a good thing and a bad thing. But from the previous year I see it so far, it's a bad thing, because your friend might vote for somebody, you might vote for somebody, one party, you might vote for party A, and your friend might vote for party B, which in that case, you cause problem there. So if you know who you want to vote for, don't tell your friend. Keep it to yourself. Vote, exit, go in the polling station, vote, come out, go home, then say you don't vote. You can't don't tell them who you're voting for. Smooth voting, smooth process, simple as that. Keep it simple, keep it peaceful. Simple process. Couple days after the GCOM do its job to check the votes, tallying up, announce who's the winners, who will be placed into power, and there you have it. A new government placed into power, helping whoever the party is placed into power, hoping and praying that God show them, encourage them, inspire them, take control, take charge, and protect them to help to boost the country, to elevate it to where it's supposed to be, or where it should be at. So yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that, for sure. I appreciate your openness here, and I think that's important. So, my dear fellow listeners and viewers, for those of you who just tuned in, I want to remind you that you're watching or listening to Dr. Narine Dat Show. The whole purpose of the Dr. Narine Dat Show is to create a safe space for positive energy and mutual respect. We're joined by a teacher from Guyana. Thavindra, we have had him in the past here on our old show, Let's Chit Chat with Narine Dat. Now he's back to share a little bit about himself, which he did earlier. Now we'll talk a little bit about, the Guyana politics or the Guyana election happening tomorrow, September the 1st. And for those of you who are watching, if you were not planning to go and cast your vote and so forth, I will encourage you to rethink that because it is such an important thing to do. That's for sure. This is not something we do obviously on a daily basis, and so you want to make sure that you make every effort to cast that vote. I think that's important. And so, Tavindra, I have a question for you here. And so, you being a teacher, what would you say are some of the needs you are seeing in the school system,
Some of the
generally
needs.
speaking?
Well, some of the needs is that we have to. Well, so far the government of Ghana needs. Well,
If
so
there's no
far
need,
for what?
that's okay too. But I'm just only asking you just to give you an opportunity to kind of maybe share. You can also switch it around and kind of share some of the changes you've seen, right, over the years, because you've been in that system, right? So some of the changes, meaning that
No,
some of the good things that you've seen that really help you as a teacher to kind of do your job. We could do that as well too.
no problem, no problem. Changes being made. The one being the cash grant. The students are very privileged, well, very lucky, and I'm very proud for what the government did to that part here to help to promoting the increase of the money itself, the cash grant to help the students buy their school items and stationary items and the school stuff what they need to go to school. They have been increased a number of the progress of percentage pass throughout the different high schools itself throughout Guyana, and that's our job toodles to the government once again. Excuse me, from the Ministry of Education and from our current Minister of Education, Honorable Premanichan. A job well done to you, Miss Minister, Honorable Minister. Job well done. Continue to do the good works. Toodles to that you for keeping up the good job of what you're doing itself and to inspire and helping the students them to show the progress that education is just one step forward. It's just one way, but it's helping the nation throughout Guyana big time itself, rebuilding new schools, um, educating the students them through technology. A very, very good idea, initiative too as well. Throughout in helping from my high school where I'm teaching to as well, which in that's kind of a very amazing thing. It's helping a lot of students. It's helping a lot of teachers too as well. With the past papers, working questions, helping to increase the pass rates in mathematics, and it's really good. From, for example, the maths pass rate from which was last year from CSEC was 27 in Guyana, 27%, now become to 32. I know it's a 5% additional 5% pass, but still a good job, a very good job for the team of the Ministry of Education, the initiative of the maths people who in that particular area from Ministry of Education, a job well done on that part, and continue to do a great and amazing job for what you're doing. I am seeing changes. I'm seeing improvement itself, little by little, through the different aspects and things what's going on itself. In schools, students not learning becomes so different. It becomes so diverse. Branches out in ways that we as teachers, including myself, have to learn to adapt, to be creative every day, make it more fun but interactive and child friendly. It have to be such a way that you want them to enjoy learning, to help them to want to grow. So within facade needs, you have to say improvements. Improvement did happen. It helps and it's continued to grow. And I want it to continue to be that way because it's helping each and every single student little by little, not by much. Some of them takes a little while to get there, to adapt to change. Some of them adapt faster. Some of them adapt at a balanced pace. But still, overall, change is good. It's helping. It's improving their students. And one thing I'm really, really, really proud of. And there are some amazing things that's what was placed in the education system of promoting and elevating the teachers itself. Yes, we might have one or two problems with certain things, but overall, we are still teachers. We learn to adapt, we learn to change, we learn to helps us to adapt to change itself and to become a better teacher itself. Like I said, we have to welcome challenge, to learn from it, and to grow. How can we grow if we can't have challenges? Yes, challenges are difficult, true. But to learn to adapt and grow, we have to learn to analyze. One, find solutions on how to adapt to it and learn to overcome it. We have to welcome the challenge. Once there's a new opportunity, there always be challenges. But along with the opportunity, we have to learn the good things, the bad things about both opportunity and the challenges. We have to learn to adapt, which in teachers in the 21st century now currently in Guyana is doing. Not well, it all depends on the individual of the teacher too as well, and how much we adapt and how much we're willing to make changes and how we want to help our students wholly in all aspect itself of how they want to see them grow. For me, I seen students once was from where they were to where they are now. I'm very proud because the teachers are doing their job. Of course, they're doing their job, but they are inspiring them, the students, helping them, motivating them, schooling them when necessary, but inspiring, motivating them, and help them to realize that they can achieve their goals and dreams to become a successful person in life. There's a great thing about being a teacher. There's a lot of things, a lot of challenges of being a teacher, but the amazing thing is that the teacher, we are helping the students to realize their potential as an individual, how they can make the impact how they can impact their society and the world itself, how to become a better person to impact the world in such a great and amazing way. We have that potential. We are not all gifted with it. Some of us, we have to learn to discover it for ourselves, to show it to students. And some of us born with it, but we have to tap into that potential itself. Yes.
Awesome. Excellent. Good job. And so share with me, how has the goal scholarship, the goal program, benefited you? Because I believe you were also part of that, right?
The goal program.
Or some sort of scholarship where you continue your learning and your degrees and whatnot. I believe you had some sort of sponsorship, right? Through the government?
Well, speaking of goals scholarship, the goals scholarship program is a great initiative and the government part of what they execute and they made a promise to. It's helped majority. I can call a figure. I would say that majority or most of the population in Guyana itself, people who study on goal, they got scholarships, they have their education, achieved their degree that they never expected. It's made free. You can apply it online, go study, pursue your dreams in whatever category, in education or in a general course, in whatever field you want to go study. It's free online. And it's a great initiative. My being the case, currently I am going to start the University of Guyana, UG, continue with my education in mathematics, September coming up, when school about to reopen. And a great initiative is that it's free. UG is now it's free. You don't have to pay. all
Mhm.
through the initiative of the government itself, which in kudos to them again of a job well done. Within that 2 year, I want to elevate myself and to broaden my horizons in education itself, in my subject area. Along that line, after I finish off my bachelor's, I am going to take the initiative to continue to go to start two different degree, two two important degree with goal. After I finish off with my 2 year program with University of Guyana studying my bachelor's in education. So the goal program itself is a great and an amazing initiative to people to whosoever or whatsoever age, if they want to go study their postgraduate, their associate degree, bachelor's degree, master's degree, or the PhD. They can apply it online, um, get back a feedback from them. They register, start in the orientation, and start with the program itself. Start your classes, execute your assignments, do your tests, do your presentation, do the quiz, whatever the form of assessment it is, do what you have to do. Get the highest GPA as much as possible. Continue to work hard. Don't leave it down, even though it's free. Continue to
Mhm.
push yourself to have the highest as much as you can. You will have challenges, you will have some days you might have meltdowns, but overall continue to push through all the struggles. And at the end, whatsoever you put into is what you're going to reap. So whatsoever you place, how much effort you place to studying and to pursue your goals and dream, whatsoever degree you want to go pursue, is that what you're going to reap. So I would say that it's a good initiative, but also in the same time, you will have to learn to go through the difficulty, even though it's a challenge and an opportunity with a great initiative to start with goal. I would say that I know few of my colleagues at my workplace started goal and they graduated goal with a job well done. They graduated, I think maybe this year time. Two of my colleagues, so far I know, graduated with goal program. And they did an
Excellent.
amazing, excellent job. They take the initiative what been offered and they pursue their degree. Pardon me, pursue their degree, and they did an excellent job. Toodles to them. So
Excellent.
whenever you think that you can be able to go to do your degree and it's gonna be costly, you have goal. You have it goal. You have to look at the program you're going to do, whichever university it is, and apply and go study. You will have to put in the hard work though. Even though it's free, put in the hard work, put in the hard work, put your best foot forward, continue to push forward, even though it's gonna be difficult, even though you're gonna have your good days and you're gonna have your bad days. You have to welcome both. You can't welcome one. You have to welcome both. Despite everything, put your best foot forward, pursue, continue to go on, keep the flow locked in, keep your focus on, and go and do it. Pursue what you want to achieve in life. Don't give up on yourself. There is one quote. There's not a quote. I'm using a lot of quotes tonight. I don't know why, but anyway, um, this is my number one quote, and it becomes like a part of me, and it's attached to me until this very day. The quote is that become the best version of yourself despite the pain and suffering, and discipline yourself. Discipline yourself and tell yourself, I will do it anyways. What that quote means, you will have to go through a path of being wanting to be the best version of yourself. You will have to put your foot down. You will lose some friends, you will lose some important loved ones along that line. Not everybody will support your decision. Some people might call you crazy. That's fine. Just ignore them. Focus on you. Self motivate. Tell yourself every day that I am me, what I want to pursue or what the person I want to become. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself despite the challenges. I know it's not going to be easy. It's going to be challenging, but you have to learn to go through the challenge to become that version of yourself despite everything itself. If you want to see change, you have to think different, you have to operate different, you have to put your foot down, and you have to clear your table, you have to clear your plan in your mind, and to get a sketch, you have to get a marker and start writing what you want in your life, who you want to become, what you have to do. You have to outline the stuffs, what you want to do, what you need to achieve, how you're going to execute it, little by little every day. Back to you,
Mhm.
Dr. Ryan.
No, awesome. No, awesome. This is really, really good. And so, my dear fellow listeners and viewers, for those of you who may have joined us halfway through, I want to remind you that we're watching or listening to Dr. Narine Dat Show. The whole purpose of this show is to create a safe space for positive energy and mutual respect. Our guest this evening is Thavindra, a teacher who teaches in Guyana. He lives there, and he basically took some time off his busy schedule to join with us here. We also took the advantage to kind of get to know him a little bit more, because last time when he was on the show, it was 4 years ago. On our old show, the Let's Chit Chat with Narine Dat. Now we have a new branded show, the Dr. Narine Dat Show, and he now is kind of sharing, his passion and purpose based on the profession he has chosen, which is teaching. And I always admire teachers, by the way. I think it's a good thing, and I think it is needed, obviously. But also, we took a little bit of an advantage as well to talk a little bit about the election happening tomorrow, because he is entitled to vote, and every vote matters. And so, getting his perspective on things, I think it was so important, and still is, because we're still talking about it. We are hopeful as well too that we will be joined by Ebony less than 10 minutes from now, and you can stick around for that, so you don't have to go anywhere. Um, she will give her input and whatnot as she sees it regarding tomorrow election. But back to you though. So what would you say are a few things you're most proud of? Obviously, you have a lot of motivation, because without motivation, nobody can move forward in life. Obviously, all of us from time to time, we will get stuck. And sometimes, things will seem impossible. All of these types of things. But once you have the motivation and drive and you keep moving forward, things usually fall in place. And I can speak from experience, and it looks like you have experienced similar things. Um, yes, I want you to kind of respond in terms of your own motivation. Where do you get like that motivation from, so to speak? I guess that's what I was asking.
Motivation. Well, motivation itself. Where do I get my motivation from? The one person I would say that to give me that motivation, to give me all of that energy, there is one, is God Himself. Yes, there are people who motivates me and I'm encouraged by, but the one person that keeps always reminding me to become the best version, and he wants me to focus on doing what I need to do, what is right, and to follow his path, is God Himself, which I'm very thankful for. Despite all of the pain and the hurt and everything I've been through, and all of that stuff, what happened through my life and self, I'm still thankful. I'm still grateful for God giving me life and everything in between. The people who have communicated, the people who have bonded, who I have befriended, who I have worked with at my co-worker place, who I've met once in a while, or every person who I've met, everything that happened in my life, I'm very thankful for God placing the initiative of what He's doing in my life. Without Him, I would never be here in the first place. I wouldn't even be here. He helped me big time. He was the one, and still is the one in my life, despite all the challenging, the hurt, the pain, everything. And he is like my father. He's like an important father to me. every day I'm reminded that he is an amazing father to look up to. I have my earthly father, of course, but he's like overall, he's the best and amazing father. When I just think about it and say like, he's a busy person. He listen. I don't know how he does it. That's a question I'm thinking to myself. Like, there are billions and millions of people out there. He listened to all. He know all from the day where they born to the day that they die. Everything in between and everything. I don't know his how he do it. I don't know his secret, but I would love to know his secret of he being God himself. And if I get to understand it, it will be something my mind cannot even comprehend. That is one. But I can say that God is a really amazing person that plays an important part in my life. And I don't want to give up on him because he never gave up on me. Since I was born, he wouldn't been there despite everything. Through my downfall, through my upcoming, through my success, through my messed up times, my good times, he's been there supporting me. Until this very day, I'm very thankful for him. And also some other people too as well, my co-workers. They are some of the people too I'm really grateful for. Some of them are like family to me. At the workplace, it's kind of different, but some of my coworkers, they are like family. They are like blood. I'm really thankful for them for having them. Along that line, my former teachers in high school, and some of my family, and my mother. And there are a few other people I want to mention, but there is gonna be a lot, and I don't have enough fingers to check all of them. It's too much. The number is too much. But the number one person I would say that keep me motivated, that keep me energized, that keep me going every day, despite all of it, is God Himself.
All
So
right.
yeah,
Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I appreciate the fact that you see this as a safe space and you are just being yourself, which is awesome. And that's what we want. And you've done it really, really well. So it is, I mean, there's no doubt that you are more knowledgeable now than you were 4 years ago, right? We've had you in the show 4 years ago. You were very different, right? And you're more knowledgeable. You have grown, all of these types of things. Knowing what you know now, all right? So let's say you have to restart your life all over again, but you are restarting your life with the knowledge you currently have, right? Because you're more knowledgeable now, you have more life experience and so forth. Will you change anything along, or will you kind of continue life the way it is right now? So, in other words, you have the opportunity to relive your life all over again, but with more knowledge. My question to you is, will you change anything at all? Will you do anything differently?
they would be things different because I won't change anything, but my perspective of thinking and action would impact people differently to relive my life itself because I would be more matured. There's one. I would be able to have the experience and the knowledge of how to approach situation itself. So um the outcome itself would be different. The A lot of stuff will be different itself. So in certain ways, there will be changes through my actions and through my knowledge of how I approach the situation itself. It would change in howsoever the situation presents itself. So yes, there will be changes, but they will be changes through my actions, not removing, but how I approach, apply, and solve the problem or make it better or how I overcome it itself. Yeah.
Very fair. Thank you so much for taking a spin to that question. Very much appreciated. So obviously people are watching and will be watching even after the show. A lot of people watch after the fact. Right here in Canada right now, it's still bright and sunny. People still go for their walks, all these things. And when I finish with you, I probably will go for my walks and things of that as well too. My question to you is, what advice do you have for younger folks who are probably going through challenging time in their life? They feel as if luck, they cannot make ends meet here. They're really have like a challenging life where they don't have as much support and all of that, and they really cannot see light at the end of the tunnel. I'm asking this question is because you've been in some challenging, challenging situation in different ways, but you did not allow any of that to hold you back, and I'm very, proud of that, because a lot of people can get hold back of whatever comes their way. You did not allow anything to hold you back. You just keep moving forward. And that's one of the reasons you're in a different place right now. And I can visualize you be, uh, doing so well as you keep moving forward. So my question to you is, what advice do you have for folks who are kind of thinking, "Oh my goodness, like I'm just stuck here. I don't know what direction to take." Because do know that your response here matters. Yeah. So take your time and respond, because if you can change the life of one people, that is a beautiful thing.
Well, my advice for the younger folks itself, I would say that cut off with pornography. I'm gonna be straightforward. Pornography won't solve nothing. Dispose of that. Smoking won't solve nothing. Drinking alcohol won't solve nothing. Drinking your life away, smoking your life away, and doing sexual activity at a young age will not do you no good. I'm gonna be straightforward with you. It will destroy your mentality, it will corrupt your thinking, and it will not itself. It would overall mess your brain up. So one advice itself, I would say, for help to overcome that is to seek help. Seek help from people who you can trust. Just a minute, please, just 1 minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So our guest, while he's straightening out something on his end there, I want to remind you that you're listening and watching um, the Dr. Narine Dat Show. And so I want you to know that we appreciate all of you joining us. And looks like our guest is back on. I was just talking to the audience and viewers while you're kind of off for a couple of seconds here. So yes, I was asking you to kind of share with our viewers, some of the things that you think is good advice in terms of them, moving forward in life and not, getting stuck, because you've done really well to kind of get out of that trap, right?
Yes, one of the things I'm really thankful. One of the things is that pornography won't solve nothing. Doing sexual activity in a young age, at any given point in time, at your young age, won't solve you nothing. Will not do no good. And smoking and drinking alcohol, smoking weed or cocaine or cigarette will not do nothing. Drinking your life away from alcohol and partying won't do none. You will have to learn to prioritize yourself of if you want to become the best version of yourself or you want to pursue a goal or dream in your life, you have to think different. You have to change your mindset. You will have to put your foot down on what you're going to allow in your life, which will be helpful and which will be harmful. That's one for those who going down that path itself. Another scenario itself, people who is going through a hard time with in their most difficult, messed up experience through childhood or their teenage life itself. One advice is to find somebody who you're comfortable to speak your mind to. Seek help from who can be able to help you to work it out, to help you to elevate you, and to help you to become a better person itself. Because I did seek help and I improved help itself. I did seek help from different people. I had helped. I had important people in my life that helped me to change my perspective of thinking itself. executing what I want to do, and they continue to do such amazing thing in my life itself. So one advice, whenever you're going through a hard time or you feel like you're lost, seek help from someone who you know you can trust, who would help you to build yourself in life, to elevate yourself little by little, making a difference every day, and to keep motivating and keep pursuing. I know it's not going to be easy first, but give it a month or two and you will see changes, little changes continuously itself. And
Awesome.
from that itself, if you want to continue to become the best version of yourself and to want to become the person who you want to become or you need to become, you will have to learn from that and you will have to do new things. Not from the advice you got already, which you already know. You have to seek new, fresh ideas and advice too as
Mhm.
well. And challenges you have to go through too as well to keep moving up the ladder itself. Not moving downwards, going upwards
Mhm.
itself. So
Awesome.
once you learn to adapt to change and learn to overcome and learn from your difficulties, not to get the same mindset, but to seek help, learn to change your mindset, your scenarios, and to change your situation in your in what complete life itself. People would look at you differently. They would say messed up things. There's one thing. The one thing I like about the one thing that really get me like annoyed about people, but now I the one thing that really get me thinking to overall itself, don't believe everything what people tell you. Don't believe everything. If they say you're good for nothing, tell yourself they tell you that, but tell yourself I'm a good for something. I'm good for doing something. I'm not good for nothing, and I will have to do it through my action to prove you wrong. Because nowadays, well, listen, nowadays, in the 21st century, I mean, we have a lot of people who do that, who do that stuff. Criticism throughout your workplace or wherever it is. Don't believe them. If they call you good for nothing, just ignore them. Focus on yourself. Ignore them and cut ties with them. Whether it be family, whether it be friends. I know it's gonna pain. I know it's going to eat you up, but you have to prove to yourself that you're better what they speak over you or whatever they spoke over you. Because once you believe people what they tell you, it's gonna stick with you and you're gonna become that what people tell you. But once you apply and once you when you seek and you want to seek after change yourself and to become somebody different, you will have to learn to do self-motivation, self-discipline, and self-independence. Once you've learned to focus on working on yourself to become the best project or becoming the best version of yourself, it will change you, it will help you along that line, and you will see people. You're going to attract people who want to be different and who want to make changes in their life, and you will have people like that. You will have to mix with people who are going to elevate with you. So if you want to become the best version of yourself or to come out of the situation where you don't want to be in and you want to become successful in life, or you want to become an important person in your life, go hang out, communicate with people who is going to change your mindset, who is going to elevate you. You
Yeah.
have to hang out with people with high standards, with high status itself. Or you can stay in that same place, hang out with the average same people, and you can become part of them. So because who's the another thing important thing to remember is that who you hang out with is what you become. So if you get
Mhm.
5 friends who are just gonna hang out, smoke weed, and do X, Y, and Z, and watch pornography, and sleep with that gal, and sleep with that, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
You're
Yeah.
gonna be a part of it. But if you want
Mhm.
to be different, you want to elevate your life, you want to be somebody successful in life itself, you have to hang out with people who is going to elevate you, who is going to challenge you, but help you to grow and mentor you. and
Yeah.
to carry you up the ladder every single day, little by little. And
Excellent point.
sooner or
Yeah.
later, and sooner or later, people itself gonna look at you differently and gonna say, "How you do it? How you do it?" It takes a
All right.
lot of work itself. It takes a
Excellent
lot of
point.
work. It takes a lot of work to work on yourself to become the best version of yourself. A lot of work.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. Just hanging right there. Great point here. I have my guest waiting, so the other guest I'm gonna have to bring her in, but you stay right there. We all will kind of chat together here. All right. Let me bring her in here.
No problem.
All right. So while I'm bringing her on, yeah. So for those of you watching or listening, I'm bringing on our other guests, Ebony. When you can hear me and see me, let me know. You can turn your camera on once you are ready. And Thavindra, you can keep your camera on as well too. That's okay. I want to introduce the two of you as well. So
Um,
Ibani, can you hear me nice and clear?
yes, hi Narine Dat, could you hear me
Yeah, I can hear you,
and see
and
me?
you're looking fabulous as usual. So that's awesome. So we
Okay,
good. So first of all,
Thank you, Dr. Narine Dat. Yes, good evening.
Eh, good evening. Thank you so much for joining here. It's going to be a good conversation here. I'm so glad that you took the offer. I'm so glad that you were here. Very much appreciated. So before we dive into things, I want to introduce you to a teacher of
Oh,
Guyana. Obviously, you have great love for Guyana. You have business in Guyana. You know, you have a big heart, and most of it is in Guyana. So let me
yes.
introduce the two of you. So
Okay.
I was talking, as you may have been watching this show. So Tavindra, I want to officially introduce you to Ibani. She lives here in Canada. I know her really, really well. Know the family. Very good individual. Very much passionate about community work and passionate about advocacy work. And she always finds ways to close the gap when something doesn't go right. And I love that about her, which is awesome. And yeah, so what you can do, Abani, though I've had you on the show quite a few times,
Okay.
take a minute or so or two just to remind folks as to who you are, and then we are going to dive into that
Okay.
election that's happening tomorrow.
Good. I just want to say hi to Tavindra. Hi, Tavindra.
Hi, good
Um,
love. How you
yes.
doing?
Good afternoon. Yes, pleasure meeting you here. Yes.
Likewise.
Okay, yes. You'll get to hear about me, and I'll get to hear a bit about you too, and be discussing the grand election day for Guyana tomorrow. Okay?
No
Yes.
problem.
Okay, so yes, I just want to remind everybody I'm Miss Ebony Narpatty Bridgebassi. Originally from Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. I was born and raised there, and I went up to middle school. Then my parents took me over to Guyana, where my father had his dream of building his resort on 63 Beach, Sunsplash Holiday Beach Resort, and yes, I very much, yeah, I liked it very much too. The out there, I helped my parents with the business. I went to many high schools. I first started at Tagore Memorial Secondary School. I went also to a private school in Scottsburg, Skeldon, and then I graduated at Line Path Secondary School. I also went to 68 Baptist Skills Training Center, where I excelled in advanced English and IT, information technology. I then went to University of Guyana and I obtained my bachelor's undergrad in public management. Yes, at that time. So I was out there up to between 2000 and 2012. And yes, I've noticed a lot of things on the beach. I was involved in a lot of beach cleanups. I ran for local government election in 2011. And yes, I've always been advocating for good change and climate change and for people to get more involved, especially our youth and women, especially too. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that introduction there,
Okay.
and thank you again for joining. So let's dive right into it. So obviously, tomorrow, September the 1st, Guyana has its regional and national election. I will ask you a broad, an open question. What's your perspective with this whole election situation? Because when I think of the election, I'm thinking back as to what took place like 5 years ago. I was very much involved. We used to do this show every day and all of that. And there's a lot of things going through my mind for a variety of different reasons. But I want to hear from you. What are you thinking when you're thinking of
Yes,
the election
Dr.
before?
Narine Dat. I also made a last minute video yesterday, right? A lot of people had
Mhm.
viewed it so far. Yes. I was just very preoccupied with other things in my life. Yes, but I still find Guyana, it's very important to me, the significance of welfare, and especially who is a ruling government there towards local people. It also affects foreigners as well, because we have to go and invest there and all these things. So, as I was stating in my video before, like, it doesn't really, you don't have to be a party loyalist. You just have to be loyal to your country. Be mindful who you choose. Pick someone who you think can make a great change, a difference. Also, as I'm always advocating, get everyone involved. Get youth, get women, get everybody involved. No one shouldn't be left behind or feel that way, because my family and I have felt so in the past. Like, we were invited by the late Honorable Dr. Chetty Jagan through invitation to go and open tourism at 63 Beach, because that was my dad's idea. He wrote it first to him, and then he said, "Okay, come and join us. Come and open tourism and open the eyes to people out there." But then again, you can't come with your family and stuff, and then you're facing all these issues out there. Like, there's supposed to be more incentives and stuff towards business people. I know I won't like always backlash the government or the current ruling government or what have you. I mean, I know they do a lot of thing in public sector and so on, a lot of developments and what have you, but they also have to collaborate as stakeholders towards 63 Beach tourism and hospitality. They also have to get like everybody on board, property owners, business people, all of us have to learn to work together and cooperatively. So, leaving out 63 Beach as well, just in general, there's a lot of things that need to be done. Dr. Narine Dat, like with field what you're involved in, like mental health and all these things. I believe, yes, I tried to do some workshops upstairs of my resort building, because I'm having an issue like with, I removed cattle off the beach in 2012, and then the issue is reoccurring now. So I don't know how that's going to help the new tourism development at the beach there. And so, but I'm trying to talk to cattle farmers and local people too. And I don't know, they just don't want to cooperate, or I don't know if they lack education about what tourism actually is and all these things. So I kept a few workshops, a few persons attended, but I need more people to come out. It's more on like etiquette training, tourism and hospitality, some advice, some guidance, also about, I also bring in a little bit of prayer here and there, because my father was a notable Christian and charitable Christian in the area too. So as part of my charity work, and so I was trying to keep these workshops, but we need more people to come out. We need social workers to come out door to people. A lot of domestic violence still happening out there. Two beautiful young women lost their lives recently. We know about those incidences in the papers and so news forum of late. And yes, also when there's an election going on, if you have like, I have some police problems right now. Until now, I haven't had any response, imagine, from them. So other people too are telling me the same thing, not because there's an election. Police are gonna, I don't know, take a break or what have you. The show must go on. All levels of government have to learn to interact with each other positively, government, courts, and police stations, and also with all individuals. As I said, it doesn't matter if you're a party loyalist or not. And one more thing I would like to touch, my late father, God bless his soul, Vivekanand Narpatty, he was the first to create tourism at the beach there through that invitation I was telling you about. So I'm hoping one day. I don't know why there's a particular magistrate that's getting an award every year in Canada and in Guyana since he invented those structures on the beach in 2003, and my dad was he invented his resort in 1996. So I just wanted to correct the public about that if they got that wrong or what have you. And yes, maybe one day I'm hoping my father can get an award for being a hero for the beach and, you know, risking his life and going out there and leaving us from young. And he built his dream, but unfortunately didn't get to be successful with the politics that surrounded it, with you know, lots of backlashing and what have you. So I'm hoping to continue this dream, and yes, I'm looking forward to cooperate with anyone. It doesn't matter which government or what have you, but yes, I'm just hoping for peaceful and prosperous election ahead. Yes, Narine Dat.
All right. Well,
Dr.
thank you
Narine.
so much for that. Thank you so much for that.
Yes.
So, I mean, what is it that you hope for? Because at the end of the day, you have investment in Guyana. You spend a lot of time there. You've gone through a lot of challenges with the whole situation after your dad had passed away and all of that, and still trying to advocate you know, to straighten out some, you know, some of the pieces and so forth. What is it you hope for after tomorrow's election?
More interaction with business people and the government and business sector. More partnerships and private public. And so I just completed a thesis with my in my master's degree with a UK university. And the thesis was labeled impacts that are affecting the economic development of 63 Beach. I use 63 Beach as a study. And yes, there's high tides, there's erosion, there's climate change, there is you know, these cattle farmers that have the cattle and the other animals, farm animals on the beach. There's a lot of issues too, as in like alcoholism, when there's too much drinking happening, um all these different activities that are going on, you know, at the beach. And like, we need more supervision, we need more security, we need more rangers out on the beach. They said they would have lifeguards. And so I don't know, I'm seeing some things happening and some things did not develop, or maybe didn't get to develop in time. But I'm hoping that their project, whatever was supposed to be on the beach, that it continues, because my father and I made a series of projects in the past that identify all these issues as well. And I'm hoping that we can get these issues, we can work on board together, get these issues resolved. As I went to the EPA in Georgetown, and Mr. Ken Booth, I believe, yeah, he was telling me we all have to, it's not like just my problem, what people think, like, oh, you live at the beach, it's your problem. It's everyone's problem, you know? So we all have to work together, and we have to look to combating. I see they made a rock quarry defense, but I see they stopped at the garden beside me. So I'm hoping I also can have a part of that rock quarry defense, since my father and I have written about all these articles in the past in Guyana Chronicle and so forth. So yes, we must all have things to benefit everyone. And yes, we can have a successful end once everyone, as I say, continues to cooperate, identify these issues, get everybody on board, have a proper management committee for 63 Beach. And so, and it shouldn't, as I said in my video, shouldn't be one-sided. Everyone, it's collaboration with everyone. Everyone's a stakeholder, private, public, people in general, whoever's interested. Everyone should be a part of the affairs of 63 Beach, of tourism and hospitality, of the country overall. And so, yeah, so that there'll be further investments. People will want to come out and invest in the country once there's cooperation. You can't have just tourism and you don't have hospitality to go with it.
No, and thank you, by the way, for openly sharing, you know, your view on things, because that is important. And so you are not in Guyana right now, right? You are in Canada, am
No,
I correct?
I'm in my apartment, yes.
Okay, I'm
In
just
Canada.
checking.
Yes.
Just checking. You know what? We will have to connect a little bit more often and whatnot. I
Yes, I
actually
can't
spent a
wait
lot of
for
time
your
in Toronto.
I can't wait for your
Yeah.
show. I'm coming for your show, Dr. Narine Dat in October. Yes.
I'll talk more about that for sure. But
Mhm.
I come a lot that end, so hopefully
Oh,
we can
okay,
kind of connect.
sure. Mm-hmm.
And so I mean, you mentioned earlier that you've kind of done some work in Ghana in terms of promoting and trying to engage people when it comes to mental health and so forth. What was the motive behind that?
I've noticed in recent years, like in local village areas too, and while I was a younger woman growing up in Guyana, going to UG and so forth, a lot of committing suicide, lots of young women having to face like, the domestic violence. There that also leads to prostitution, alcoholism, all these different issues that arise. So I just thought like it would be best. I'm always saying like social workers should come door to door. I mean, a lot of people study at the University of Guyana every year. There's lots of girls that graduate I went to school with and they don't have any jobs, And so and that could be a proper job for people to go door to door and resolve these problems. But for me to wait on that, I don't think that would be the best idea. So I started to call people in the area. I said, you know what? On a Sunday, I'm there at the beach house. You guys come. I offer whatever I have, fruits, some juice, what I have you, some refreshments. And I try to talk to local cattle farmer boys and young people in the area that are growing up and tell them, guide them, into a better life and not to give up. There's hope, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. We have to all sometimes have a little guidance. I always love when my dad says, where there's life, there's hope." So I always encourage people, not to give up. I've been through some hardships too. I had to go sell in the
Mhm.
hot sun on the beach and assist my parents and go to UG, work part-time and all these things too. So I know how life could be hard. And even here too, I had to work and go to university and all of that. So yes, I just encourage people to do their best and be their best. And yes, I think it's just something in me, Dr. Narendra, that I felt like I needed to reach out to the community more.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for that,
Yeah.
and thanks for all that you do. How about the reestablishment of the business? I'm only using that term for now because I'm not aware of all the details in terms of where you're at, in terms of where you want to be with that Sunsplash business there. Like, what is
Right.
it? Yeah, what is it you hope for? Let's say a year from now, 2 years from now. What is it you would
Okay.
want then to
Well,
take it forward?
yes, yes. I'm working with some investors at the moment, I'm looking at some I might put out an invitation for bids maybe soon. I like to like invest in a entertainment, a big grand entertainment stage, something durable that's gonna last quite like durable, last a lifetime for some reason, for some amount of time. But yeah, it's mostly like to create stage shows. Like I want to get like Steel Pan performing on the beach there. I make it like a iconic tourism outlet that people when they come stay at the resort. I've been maintaining the resort, by the way. I have to speak to my contractor too, just now. I have been doing renovations on the resort, and then they'll have the stage as entertainment. They can sit from upstairs view, have dinner, breakfast, what have you, and they could see the stage, or they could come out in the lawn. And I'm gonna put up some cabanas in the yard too, where they could sit down and watch
Mhm.
the entertainment on the stage. And also for one side over, I'm gonna have like a play park. I'm trying to make an amusement park for the beach, something like the exhibition with some kids rides and stuff like that. So I really want to make it an ideal tourism hotspot, but like in order to do that, I need some investments. I need people cooperation and people on board and so forth.
No, that's awesome. I mean, it is a beautiful area. It's a beautiful place to do all of the things that you just talked about. I hope that you have the support, right? You have the support to kind of move forward with this, because this is awesome. Because at the end of the day, it will benefit the community as well, right? It will benefit the community. And I mean, you have the passion to do so much. It's just that you cannot do it all alone, right?
Right. Hmm. Yes,
You
yes.
see, you need the support. So do you go there, like by the looks of it, often? You go there a couple times a year,
Yes,
or you go as
yes,
needed
yes,
somewhat?
yes. Like I go once a year and I spend like a quarter of the year, but I have to make another trip very soon. So soon I'll be maybe going about 2, 3 times a year. And so to check and update and be with the establishment. I don't want to be far. I feel like I'm far from home kind of thing.
Mhm, mhm,
Sometimes I'm here, my mind is out there. So yes, I would like to be more closer to my dad and his establishment and
mhm.
the development of 63 Beach and so forth. Yes.
Good stuff. And so, I mean, when I hear of all the things that you just mentioned, and knowing of the things that you've been doing and so forth, for me, I see lots of motivation in you. And so my question to you is, where do you find, the strength, and how do you balance with all of that? Because you live here, obviously in Canada, you spend, a fair amount of time in Guyana. You continuously, try to advance yourself professionally, and academically, that is, and so forth, which can be difficult to do, to kind of
Thank
balance.
you.
How do
Thank
you
you.
do it? And I recognize it, and I commend you for that.
Okay.
But I think sharing how you do it might be a beautiful thing, so
Yes.
that people can learn from you.
Um, I don't know. I think it has to do a bit with God and like encouragement from parents. It could be blessings. It could be just good karma. Like I always like to give good karma, so I notice I get back good karma. So, um, I just yeah, like the charity work I do for kids twice a year, the Toronto Toy Drive here and then the schools in Guyana and so forth. I just love to interact with people. I just like to make people happy. I volunteered at a residence home for like 6 years too, right down the street from me. And like, I even miss those persons, during that program that I was in and so forth. So, I think I get my inspiration from people themselves. So, like I see what they're struggling with. I probably had that similar um I probably faced that similarly in my past life and all of that. So I just I'm just eager to want to make people happy and self-motivated. My dad always told me you have to make yourself happy. No one's not going to do that for you. And I also want to quote somebody. I wrote it down here because I didn't want to forget. There's
Mhm,
Johnny Nash and Jimmy Cliff. It's a Jimmy Cliff song and it's also Johnny Nash. It's a reggae song.
mhm,
It says you can get it if you really want. So I listen to these kind of songs.
mhm.
Rome wasn't built in a day. Opposition will come your way, but the hotter the battle may be, is the sweeter the victory. You can get it if you really
Ooh.
want. Yes. So I live by these things, Dr. Narine Dat.
Mhm,
Very much my dad was a big Bob Marley fan. I listened to his
mhm.
music, very motivational, inspirational. I encourage people, yeah, like the other day, I met with a young man and then he was telling me like he's going through a lot too. So I'm telling him like he's showing me some of his playlists. I'm like, please don't listen to those depressing songs. They're just gonna make you more depressed. And then I gave him some of my songs, and then he's like, okay, this is upbeat, this is nice. So maybe people have to just change some things around, about their lifestyle. And so maybe more inspirational books, literature, poetry, music, whatever makes them more happy, what makes them feel better about themselves.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for helping that gentleman out as well too, because those little things can make a huge difference, right? That's
Okay.
awesome. So
Thank you.
earlier you mentioned that you studied in Guyana, you went to the University of Guyana. Right now, I believe you are about to wrap up, and you will be graduating very soon,
Yes,
from
in
a
the
program
UK.
in the UK, and you study here in Canada and so forth. How would you describe the difference in terms of the teaching style, or not necessarily teaching style, but your experience studying in Guyana, studying here in Canada, which is very, very different. How would you share
Um,
that story with somebody else?
you know
Your
what?
experience.
Yeah, my experience here, what I'm very much upset when I hear people say, "Oh, Guyana education doesn't matter, doesn't count, or it's not
Mhm,
good." I'm very much against that. Any education, any form of education is good. That's number one. Number two, it is very high quality, the education in Guyana, because remember, we were once British rule as well, so I do find the texts, and so what I learned at the University of Guyana, and so they do use recent literature, and so in their syllabus, in their programs, and so. And yeah, I think I don't know where exactly they get it from, if the United States or where, but the work is it's very high quality, Dr. Narine Dat, I was surprised, because when I came back to Canada here, I worked a few years, and then I went to York University, right? And I did my
mhm,
post grad in admin and law. So when I did the 1 year law program, I was thinking like, wow, like these are some of the courses I've already done. I had to take some exemptions and do other
mhm,
courses. And so too, yeah. So I believe it's good, like it's good quality education in Guyana. And so I think I just believe, I like how what they're doing now, like they're not just taking like high school graduates and turning them into teachers. I noticed like in Tagore School, our neighborhood school, and so they get teachers who are graduated from both University of Ghana and Cyril Potter School of Education, which is very good, so they can display, the amount and quality of knowledge that they have. And so yes, I think it's very good. It's equivalent. The Guyana education is equivalent to the Canadian one I've learned, and also the UK one that I've been studying as well. I've noticed the program is some subjects are very much similar, and so yes.
Oh, yes, and thank you for sharing this. I was more interested to know of your experience, which you kind of share perfectly here. And so I want to just add a couple things here. And so you are absolutely right. So there's nothing wrong with the Guyana education, because I
No.
remember when I came here, I came as a teenager and whatnot. So at that time, I didn't know much. And so I wanted to start from scratch. And they said to me, no, that we give you full credit for what you already have. So they gave me 20
Mm-hmm.
credits, high school
Wow.
credits, and I
Okay,
needed
that's very good. Way to go, Dr.
32.
Naranda. Yeah.
So that's good for people to know that it is
Yes.
valid. The only suggestion I have for people when you're studying, regardless of where you're studying, you just want to make sure that you're doing research to make sure that the school is accredited and the course is accredited. That is key.
Right.
If
That
not,
that
that's when you
too.
will run into problems for sure. Yeah, but
Right.
other than that, Guyana
Mm-hmm.
offer, good, education there. So
Yeah.
so have no fear.
Yes. Have no fear. Whoever wants to be like a remigrant or a foreign investor to Guyana, they
Yeah,
can send their
yeah.
children to school over there as well. Yes.
Awesome, awesome for sure. And so what is it that you're working on right now? I know you're about to wrap up things with your school, which is awesome. Big step there, and that need to be celebrated. But what other stuff are you working on?
Okay.
Like what's next for you?
What's next for me? Yes, I have my dad's book, the book I wrote for the children's book. I have it just
Mhm,
sitting down there. I really have to start moving forward with it. My mother was very much in the book company, book industry and stuff like that. So
mhm,
I need to get that book published. And I have a lot of different things are coming my way, Dr. Narayana. As I said, like there's some random things that I never imagined, like some acting. I see some
mhm,
acting coming my way. I have different
mhm,
different things opening up for me. So I'm kind of unsure about where to test the waters at the
mhm,
moment, but I think I'm gonna work on like what I've already accomplished. I did a beautiful song on climate change. I always want to publish it. I'm hoping I can publish it one day. I was offered a contract with Disney, but maybe I could get this song into a Disney movie. I don't know, someday. I'm hoping.
mhm,
It's just a
mhm,
beautiful song about climate change. and all these things. It kind of reminds me of like Pocahontas, Colors of the Wind and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm hoping my family and I always love Disney. Yeah, we're always big Disney fans, especially Lion King. And so
Hmm.
yeah, so yeah, like just get the book out there, try to like write other children's books and stuff. I also recently got offered to write for a series on YouTube. So yeah, mostly I see myself mostly staying at home and indulging in the writing and the coloring and the painting and stuff like that. I don't know about not too sure about acting and moving
Hmm.
anywhere right now, but yeah, mostly focusing on the business, which is a
Hmm.
home away from home. And I usually I'm always up to date with my business. I love that very much. I check in with workers regularly. I hope I don't bother them too much. Yeah.
Hmm.
And yeah, I just like to be close with everything that's connected to me and my mother too, you know. She's a very essential part of my life. She's always inspired me and pushed me, you know, to the fullest, encouraged me to do my best. So I just want to shout out to her. And yeah, we went out today earlier, and we went for coffee and stuff, and then I went to get her doctor appointments done and so forth. So I believe like everyone, like if you wanted something in life, you have to be a go-getter and you have to believe in yourself, and like the sky is the limit, you know. There's like so much endless opportunities. Like when you even see something crazy, I applied for some random thing sometimes on the internet. They say, "Oh, Ebony, that's a scam, that's an ad." You never know, you know.
Hmm.
So just go put your feet out there, you know, test the waters a little bit, and then when you have all these different things coming to you, maybe then you can choose or see what you feel your best in. Maybe you're not ready for that thing right now. Maybe you can put it a hold and maybe work on that back later on or something, you know. But as a lot of people I know in America, lots of Americans I associate with, they say you're never too old, you know, to get involved in anything. Like it could be entertainment, sports, um, any talent you have, you know. So yeah, I think I'm gonna try to deal with what I already have, and then I'll see
Hmm.
if I want to test the waters and other things later on.
Awesome. Good for you. Yes, I like how you, it looks like you're one of those that don't get too comfortable,
Yeah.
right? Because when you get too comfortable, you're losing out from other
A lot of
opportunities,
options,
which
right?
is really good mindset. So keep that going. When
Yeah.
you were on this show, a few months ago, you mentioned about an annual event, not event, but an annual project that you do, and I guess it is related to, um, not necessarily related to Christmas per se, but I believe you do it during Christmas time. Um, can you share that with us? I believe you do some sort of project, whether that be collecting books or
Yeah,
collecting something,
the
if you don't
Toronto
mind
Toy
sharing.
Drive.
Yeah, there
Yes.
you go. There you
The
go. There
Toronto
you go.
Toy Drive, yeah. I'm not sure if I'm doing it this year. Sorry, I don't mean to disappoint
Mm,
anyone. I
mm, mm,
might
mm,
be in Guyana this time.
mm,
So,
mhm,
I'm thinking I might do a Santa out there. I'll
mm,
get somebody dressed as a Santa, maybe do the toy drive, carry the toy drive to Guyana this year, you know, who knows? And I could get the orphanage and other people involved. You know, the orphanage visited our
yeah.
resort before. My parents were nice enough to accommodate them for free, and they came, and the kids had a wonderful fun day at our resort. I just love children. I just love like how
Mm,
they're always around. And you have beautiful children, by the way, Dr. Narine Dat, your three girls. And
thank
so
you.
yeah. And yeah, they just lively the area. My mom too, like she said, since growing up, she's always lived near a school. I noticed I always live near a school too. Yeah. And so
Mhm,
yeah, it's nice to see like a whole, I could just imagine making myself a music video with a whole bunch of kids on the beach or in the yard or something, you know? And like, yeah, I just want them to enjoy and have a good Christmas and stuff. I think kids out there need some toys and stuff like that. So I might switch up things a bit. Might do start to do the toy drive in Guyana now. And I think I want to start to help like native schools, native Canadian native Indian
mhm,
schools in
mhm.
Canada. I'm gonna be focusing on soon, and so
Yeah, so the two of us, well, it looks like you have lots going on, but maybe when you settle down a bit, the two of us probably have to work on a project where we can do some stuff here. Yes, we do our bits and pieces in Guyana, but there are
There
lots
as
of
well.
opportunities
Yes,
obviously
yes.
here, right? So it's not only in Guyana per se, and this is, I don't mean this in a bad way, obviously, but right where we live as well, there are,
Mhm.
lots of opportunity to kind of close the gap and a lot of things we can do for sure. So in your area, obviously in Toronto, I mean, Kitchener well as well. Obviously Kitchener is, more populated, more people. We have grown here in the region of Waterloo as well. We have about 1 million people here, believe it or not.
Oh wow.
The Tri-City, Kitchener, Cambridge, Waterloo, 1 million people.
Okay.
So it's not small anymore. It's We have more people here than in Ghana. So it's
Mhm.
big. But anyways, there are a lot of things happening in Toronto. And this has nothing to do with you, but I'm just being realistic here.
Okay.
And that's one of the reasons I've chosen to work there in Toronto. There's
Mhm.
more crime in Toronto.
Yes,
There's
yes.
more, things happening there. So obviously, based on my line of work, I see that as an opportunity. How is it that I can use my skill set, right, to kind of make an impact there, and making sure that the younger folks have better opportunities in life, and they don't get stuck because of a particular situation that's may have been not in their favor, if you know what I mean, right? So yeah, so we will have to work on some stuff
For sure. Yeah, looking
eventually.
forward.
Yeah. So what is it that you're seeing in your end in terms of challenges? Like, I mean, we are aware of the mental health situation. Very recently, we had a 5-year-old got shot, right, and killed. Like a couple of weeks ago. We are dealing with that right now, and I believe a 19-year-old got killed as well too. You saw the
Yes,
situation
yes.
in
That
Scarborough,
I
yeah?
saw I saw that posting you made. Yes, I'm very sorry about that's very distressing and the family must be in distraught over that. Yes, my condolences to the family. Yes.
Yes, and so is that, I don't want to use the word passion, but is that something you're also interested in terms of making some sort of lend a hand kind of thing where where
Maybe,
you can kind of
yes.
make a
Maybe
difference?
Dr. Narine Dat, since like I've already went through the 9 stages of grief and
Mm-hmm.
I've I've tried to overcome grief and I know there will always be a little grief in you, but
Mm-hmm.
I've majority tried to overcome it and I have my dad always his words of wisdom just popping up in my head and so forth. So yeah, maybe yes, maybe I could look into people who are suffering from grief. Yeah, maybe that could be a new challenge for me to take up and to speak with these individuals who lost someone they loved. And so, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm only asking because I mean, there's always a need, and but at the end of the
Mm,
day, you have to have motivated people to kind of wanting to kind of try to bridge, those gap there for
right,
sure.
right.
And so,
Good
because I've
good
seen
thoughts.
that in you,
Mhm.
I said to myself, might as well,
Okay, yes.
take advantage and kind of throw that there so you can start to think
Yes.
about that. So people who are watching right now, there are a lot of people. I'm not discriminating here, but earlier you brought up such of a great point. You mentioned about when you ran locally in Guyana, you were, thinking along the line of helping kids, you were thinking along the line of helping, women in particular and so forth, because study shows that women usually get the short end of the stick, right? Even here in Canada. And that's what the stats shows. What advice do you have for women in particular who are watching right now or who will be watching and listening at some point? Let's say they're stuck and they want to do something better with their lives, but they don't know where to start and how to get going. What advice do you have for them?
Um either or area, but yeah, in Canada here or in Guyana. Well there's a lot many more in Guyana local areas. And so I know there's more work and stuff people can get involved in here and like more art classes and so many different things you could get involved in here. But I would like to I'm also looking into that. I want to create like a church program in honor of my late father, a regular church program and also like workshops where young like not just young, it could be young older women whatsoever, they could find like time to come to the resort and yeah, they could do painting, we could do like a book club, We could do different things, you know. If they're looking for work, maybe I can assist them, you know, and all these kind of things, you know. So they have to come out more. They have to reach out to people. And yeah, you won't believe it. There's always work out there, you know. There's always something to do, and there's always some kind of hobbies or talents or something to get involved in. You just got to keep knocking on doors, asking questions, inquiring. And so I would tell those women, yeah, don't give up on life. Like, you know, I understand we've all been through some kind of struggle or hardship in life, you know, but
Mm-hmm.
it's always good to have some kind of resilience in you, some aspirations to do better and to have lead a better life. And you want to be example of your children if you have, or your neighbors, or people in your village too. They could see you as a role model. So I would say, yeah, if people could reach out to people like yourself, Dr. Narine Dat, or myself, and yeah, I could probably see if I don't have an opportunity for them at that same moment, maybe I could forward them to someone I know and so forth. But as I said, they have to keep you know, they have to keep searching, and they have to keep questioning and asking, you know, inquiring where what can I do, what are my skills, how can I get better at this thing, or maybe I want to learn something new. Oh, I saw Ebony did a very nice painting, I want to learn to draw like that too, or something, you know. So they have to just keep like coming out of that shell. I was once in a shell too, and
Mm-hmm.
just come out and just start to ask questions. And yeah, who cares what people think and what have you. Just do what you feel is best, and what you want to do, what self satisfies you.
Awesome, for sure. As you were responding, right? Not just now, but right from the beginning when when you log in here, you have consistently, mentioned your father. You always honor your father. You find ways to honor your father in so many different ways and all of that. What is it that you would like to say to him if he's watching right now? And I don't want to turn this
um,
into like a grief therapeutic session
no,
here,
no,
but
no.
I have so want to.
I see my
But
mom.
if
My mom's laughing. My mom's laughing on the sofa here. Yeah.
that's a good
um
thing. It's a good
it's
thing.
a good thing. You got her to laugh. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Mom says hi to you, okay, Dr.
All right.
Narendra.
Thank you. Yeah.
um Yes, I think he would be very proud of me, because just before he died, I kept a big 70th birthday for him. And I kept a grand birthday, and only a few people showed up. I don't know, someone else in our family was having an event that same weekend. And
Mm,
anyways, what I like though, I reunited him and a friend, you know, after so many years, you know, and then
mm,
some people I grew up with, you know, at my older building where I was born and raised and grew up. So
mm,
I think when I was saying a speech at his 70th birthday, I even have it written down still. I noticed he was like just drawn back, you know, like he probably didn't expect me to become
mhm,
the woman I am today, you know, and like wanted to do. And I sang that climate change song to him. He was amazed. I said that speech for him, you know, and all these things. And I'm sure he would have loved to see me last year at your show, and this year coming, right, Dr. Narendra?
mm,
I
mm.
think he would say, wow, Ebony, I'm amazed by you and all what you've become over the years. And I'm so happy of your success. And it makes me happy to see you happy. And I'd love to see how you blossomed into a beautiful butterfly. You know, you were in a cocoon and then you turned into a beautiful butterfly. You spread your wings, you became so many different beautiful things, beautiful colors, just like a butterfly. And yes, I would love to see you more, and more what you could do. And I would love to see, I feel like when I'm working at the resort there, I feel like I'm working with my father too. Like he's directing me like what to do and giving me these ideas and so forth. So yeah, I think he would just be very appreciative, Dr. Naranda. I think he would just continue blessing me and continue encouraging me, yes, to do my best and see my full bloom potential.
Awesome. So what is it that you would like to say to him if he's watching right now?
Oh, thank you very much, Dad, for all these years. You know, I know you haven't always been there in my life because you had to go and build your dream resort, and so. But I do remember like all those special birthdays you kept for me and all those little things that you did for me, you know, and like just the when we went and picked guavas together, little things when we went and picked that trout out from the ocean that moonlit night, and all those little things that when we were on the motorbike we fell down on the dead sand and then we laughed afterwards. I just love your company and you live on with me, and I just want to do everything that you wanted to do, and I know that you inspire me also with what I want to do. And thank you, Dad, for giving me life and giving me this chance to live through your dreams, through my dreams, and through our family dreams.
Awesome. You're a very well-spoken individual, by the way. I want you to know that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Narine.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
try. Yeah.
no,
Sometimes I get
it's
a little nervous, but I try. Yeah.
no, we all do. We all do. I remember when Barack Obama went on Oprah Winfrey show. At the end of the show, he asked Oprah, "How did I do?" Right? So he goes to show at the
Mm,
end of every title, doctor, lawyer, president, whatnot.
right.
At the end, there is that human being behind every title, right? So some things you kind of keep
Yes.
in mind. Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
So what is it that you miss about your dad the most? I mean, the list
Uh,
can be a
I
long
miss
list,
how
but
like
memories with you.
if I had like a really rough day, I'm like, oh my gosh, this
Mm-hmm.
day's like terrible and it's not ending.
Mm-hmm.
I miss like how he would make me smile. And like I just remember his smile. And so yeah, so I just want to keep smiling and being happy. And I always encourage other people's to, you know, like don't let the world weigh you down. There's so many things you could think of. There's like over a billion problems going on in the
Yeah.
world as it turns, you know, and like there's only so much we can do. But then as I said at the end of the day, like if it's Guyana's election, if it's the world I'm speaking to today, the United Nations or who, if we don't have cooperation, like we all have to come together, you know, as a collective good, and we all have to learn to cooperate and form groups and try to tackle these issues, you know, make projects, seek funding. There's always things to do, you know, like reach out to even just simple things like what we've discussed, like you go to people in your community, talk to them, you know, it's just sometimes just some little things that you can do to make the world turn around. So I'm just hoping, yeah, we can have more cooperation. The world needs more love right now. We need more world peace and love. And, you know, there's a lot going on, like shortage of food worldwide,
Mm-hmm.
high rising sea level,
Mm-hmm.
shortage of jobs and all these things. So we all we can have at the end of the day, let's just learn to love, you know, like the song by Black Eyed Peas, Where is the Love? That's a very good song if anyone wants to look it up. And so yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for that. It was such of a pleasure to have you, join us. I do know it's always a pleasure having you on. No question about that. Let's wrap it up though by kind of looking back at this whole election thing for tomorrow. Are
Okay.
you looking forward to this at all? Will you be watching, to see what's happening? Or are you just kind of taking it easy and you have other things planned? I'm excited about it to see how it unfolds. There's no question about that. But I want to hear from you as well. You kind
I'm
of speak
actually
a little bit earlier. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm actually going to the exhibition tomorrow, Dr.
Mhm.
Narine Dat.
Mhm.
I think I need to
Mhm.
just get my mind off
Yeah.
everything that's been happening lately. Yeah.
That's a good
So
thing. That's a good thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like you know, they have so much cultural things. I love to go in the cultural building where I see all these nice little things and I start buying and all these yeah, different art from around the world.
Right.
Yeah. And so then you get to see like the dog show, or you get to see people, yeah, youth perform there too, you know. So yeah. I don't know if I'll go on any I don't go on wacky rides and all these things, but I just go for like a stroll. Yeah. While
That's
I'm
right.
there, yes, I'm gonna reflect on like this is my life here. That's my life out there. Um, but yes, you know, it's a tough one. Like I've seen some of the candidates for elections, and I don't know. I'm not too sure how it's gonna work out. And so, as I said in my video, there might be a coalition if they see like two major parties they're neck to neck, they might join as one force, or a set of new parties might all come together and be an opposition force against the leading force, you know. So it could work anyway, you know. I don't really know. I can't predict what's gonna happen tomorrow, but whatever it is, as I said, I'm willing to work alongside. And so I know I ran for a local government election, but I'll share a little secret. I might want to run for general elections one day. Not sure exactly when, but yeah, I think like, yeah, people just need to collaborate and work together and cooperate, and then you could get a collective good, right? You could get a positive results and so forth. As I said, there has to be, I want that gap breached between separating public and private. I want them together. I want them to work together, you know, and there should be more incentives towards business people to encourage foreign investments. And so, and please, yeah, like if whoever's the leading party or what, please don't come and see somebody's investment and then I don't know if you envy their investment or you don't want to work with that person or someone's tattletaling to you about these people or what have you. You know, like, come on, we all need to grow up and we all need to work together positively. I believe we all just should be stakeholders and involved in work as a common good all together.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. So thank you so much for that. So we are, we coming to that hour now. So what I'll do, I'll give you, another 30 second or so. Any last minute thing you'd like to share? Now is the time to do it, and then we will wrap it up. But do know that I'm grateful that you took the time to join us, and
Yes.
we will connect again for sure.
Yes, Dr. Narine, last minute notice, but I'm here. Yes.
I love
And
it. I love it. Yeah.
And yeah, I just look forward to your show in October. I'm so looking forward to that. This time I would like to perform more and have some ideas for the show, also some sponsorship towards that. So yes, I would like to be a major part of your national cultural show in Kitchener there.
All right. All right, thank you so much for that. So, my dear fellow listeners and viewers, we have had a little bit of a technical difficulty from the beginning, but that's just how things are, right? That's how things are when you're doing a live show. But as we are officially approaching the end of tonight's program, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for tuning in to the Dr. Narine Dat Show. On behalf of myself and my guests, Ibani, and my earlier guest, Thavindra, all of us would like to join together and wish you a great today and even a better tomorrow. We'll see you again next time.